Hi, Michael Schuster here on behalf of the team of various types of professionals here at Divorce Specialist Group. Have you ever heard the term parenting coordinator and wondered what the heck does that mean? What is a parenting coordinator? How can they help you in a divorce? And how do you know if you need one? During separation and after divorce is final, many parents struggle to maintain consistent parenting patterns or rituals with the kids. Sometimes because they have so much going on mentally and emotionally with their own feelings and or their finances and things like that, so they forget what the kids need and what the kids are going through themselves. But other times, usually in the more complicated or acrimonious or difficult or high conflict divorces, where parents do focus on what is best for the kids and try to keep the status quo for the kids, it can be very difficult for you and the kids if the other parent doesn't follow the consistent rituals and routines and patterns and schedules for the kids. It seems this happens more often in the acrimonious or the higher conflict divorces for two possible reasons. The first possible reason is that the higher stress and conflict while dealing with your own divorce, the more distraction there is from your role as a parent, or possibly the more distracted your ex might be from their role as a parent. The second possible reason is if the other parent is trying to play favorites or use the kids against you, or want the kids to want to be with them more, or simply because they're so hell-bent on being in control instead of you being in control, they're just going to try and break routine to show who can do it. Whether you're divorcing a narcissist or you just have a difficult, high conflict ex who's unreasonable or unreliable when it comes to his or her time with the kids, here's how a parenting coordinator can be a tremendous help. Let's start with what exactly a parenting coordinator is. Parenting coordinators have special training in the area of helping parents with parenting coordination. They're licensed professionals who specialize in child development, understanding child psychology, and understanding the difficulties that parents sometimes have with communicating effectively, both during their separation and or after the divorce is final, when it comes to the kids' routines and the kids' schedules. Although they have specialized training as a parenting coordinator, usually they also draw on their own knowledge from their professional background or professional specialty. Although some lawyers fall into this category, most often I see mental health professionals or therapists or social workers and other types of professionals who have extensive training in psychology and human behavior, and they apply that knowledge to child development, specifically to helping their divorcing clients who need help with parenting coordination with the other parent. So who are ideal candidates that would benefit from working with a parenting coordinator? Any parents who can't agree or can't communicate effectively with each other, or there's an inability to communicate and co-parent. If you fall into this category, you can first try suggesting it to your ex to use a parenting coordinator. Otherwise, mention it to your lawyer or mediator, and that way your lawyer can suggest using a parenting coordinator to the other spouse's lawyer. Or, if that doesn't work, the request for a parenting coordinator can be put forth to a judge. Specifically, your lawyer could make a motion in court to have a parenting coordinator appointed to your case if the other spouse won't agree with you. Parenting coordinators help both parents stay focused on making decisions by removing the interference of emotion and focusing only on what's in the best interest of their children. An example might be if one parent doesn't want to vaccinate their children and it's causing a lot of conflict between the parents. One parent could advise the parenting coordinator that they're having a problem agreeing on vaccination. The parenting coordinator would contact the other parent and schedule a meeting to discuss the topic of vaccinating the children. And at the meeting, a parenting coordinator would attempt to understand exactly what each parent believes the issues might be. Almost like a mediator, but focusing on parenting and children issues rather than legal and financial issues. Now this is just an example because depending on your type of custody, only one parent might have the legal right to choose vaccinating, for example, versus shared custody or joint custody where both parents must agree. By the way, I do have a video called types of child custody that clearly explains the types of custody and what you're allowed to do. But in terms of a parenting coordinator, this is covering pretty much everything where you and your spouse or ex can't get along and can't communicate. Now, what decisions does a parenting coordinator have the power to make? When parents can't agree on something, then the parenting coordinator would talk to each of them and try to guide them to a decision that they can both agree on. Parenting coordinators cannot make final decisions in favor of one parent or the other unless they have been appointed as an arbitrator. However, very, very few have that capability and that qualification. There also might be exceptions in it, for example, if there might be physical danger or abuse. If a parenting coordinator feels any of the kids are being endangered by the parent or one parent in some way, the parenting coordinator can bring a motion before a judge in court so that the judge can hear what the parenting coordinator has to say about the issue. But they still can't make a final decision unless they're an arbitrator. Parenting coordinators obviously don't do this regularly or make the decision lightly to do this, meaning go in front of a judge. Usually they're successful at helping the two parents coordinate parenting. So judges know this and will often give priority to getting that parenting coordinator's motion before the court to be heard quickly. When do parenting coordinators come into the equation or the process? If you're currently separated and your lawyers are negotiating a settlement, if you and your soon-to-be ex can't agree on important topics about the kids, then you could tell your lawyer and there might be justification for the courts to order a parenting coordinator to help you. But generally, parenting coordinators get involved a little bit later in the separation process, closer to the divorce. They can be, but it's less common. The reason they usually come in later in the process is that a parenting coordinator doesn't have the ability to choose a parenting schedule for parents. Now notice I didn't say parenting plan, but a parenting schedule. The plan has to do with custody and legal visitation rights. Those are things which are in essence part of the core negotiations when trying to reach a separation agreement. Until the custody and the visitation and the access are finalized, it can be difficult to devise a parenting schedule to follow. Decisions regarding medical issues, educational issues, and religious issues are all governed by what type of custody you agree on or awarded by the court. So again, check out my other blog posts and videos about types of child custody that clearly explain that in more detail. There's also the holiday schedules and the summer break schedules and the birthday schedules and Mother's Day and Father's Day schedules, which are often worked into a separation agreement so that it's fair for both parents. So couples and their lawyers are working on those details during separation and settlement process. When parents have trouble understanding or implementing or adhering to the parenting plan, that's when a parenting coordinator can really help. Now, who pays for the parenting coordinator? Usually both spouses or exes will pay equally for the parenting coordinator. Of course, there are times when there's a significant difference in income between the two parents. So they might agree to a different split, such as 70-30 or 60-40 or 80-20. If they can't agree, then it would go to court, and a judge might make a decision as to which parent pays how much or what portion. So if you have questions or want more information on parenting coordinators or any types of issues with your divorce, the Divorce Specialist Group does have the best divorce coaches and lawyers, parenting coordinators, financial planners, divorce real estate specialists, every professional you might need in your divorce. And they are all vetted and they all have a proven track record of success and they all genuinely care. So if you have questions, just email us with any of the questions that you might have. You can also arrange a free 30-minute consultation. It's always strictly confidential and there's never any sales pitches or pressure. We just want to answer your questions and help you through the process. You can email us at info@divorcespecialistsgroup.com and there's never any obligation or pressure. Thanks for watching and we do wish you luck.